Namaste. This is the 25th teaching class relating to Tantra teaching. It's based on ancient teachings that were lost over 10,000 years ago when the Golden Ones were teaching on this planet before the sinking of Lemuria and Atlantis. Hello, I am Tim Doyle. I'm a student of the Golden Ones. The Golden Ones are co-creator gods who are administrators of this Earth Spiritual Training School. Today's teaching class is based on Tantra teachings, what has been practiced thousands of years ago before men started to govern the planet. It was before the sinking of Atlantis. Earth was in a fifth dimension reality, and it was governed by females, women. And the men were used as support to the females. The females rule on feelings and intuition, and the males used their wisdom and logic, discernment, and foresight into guide the females in their decision making. God created man, male and female, he created them. The male on earth represents the mind of God, and the female on earth represents the heart of God. Heart of God being feelings and intuitions, mind of God being logic and discernment and foresight. It's the male God's responsibility to always have respect for all female goddesses, whether it's in an intimate relationship, a friend, a neighbor, or an acquaintance. The male god always respects the female goddess, more so in his relationship to his partner, his goddess, his wife, his spouse, his committed partner, whoever she may be. The female aspect of God, as we said, represents the heart of God. Through incarnations, the soul alternates between genders, between male and female. So he learns when a male to how to use the logic and discernment and foresight and wisdom. And then when he becomes a female, he learns how to use his feelings and intuitions. And over time, he's able, or the soul is able, to incorporate both heart and mind of God within his own being. So in making a decision, let's say for making a decision to buy a house, he just doesn't think, oh, this is a good deal, I've got the money and so forth. He feels into it. Is this good for the family? Is this good for my work? Is this good for my neighbors, my relationship? Can I afford this? Then he goes into the logic. Can I afford it? Is this good for my future? So there's a feeling and a logic component in making a decision within a person. When he's in a committed relationship, both the husband and the wife or the partners make a decision together. Him from the mind and discernment, and her from her feeling and intuition. It is the responsibility of the male to always guide his female partner. In an intimate relationship, the coming together of the female goddess and the male god continues to be the male's responsibility to please his female goddess in all moments. In previous times, the female goddess governed the world. And when she governed the world, they trained the men to discipline their bodily functions so that they were always in control of the channeling of their semen. When male gods started to invade other countries, they used their semen to rape the women of the country they were invading to change the bloodline of the people of the country they were invading. For an example, if England invaded Scotland, the soldiers would rape the females just to have them have children, and the bloodline of the children would become English bloodline. So in doing so, over time, 10,000 years, men lost the discipline of how to channel the energy of their semen up the spine to nourish their vital organs and to stimulate the crown chakra. In an intimate exchange between a female goddess and a male god, it's essential for the male god to always maintain his erection without losing his semen. In doing so, the erection of the penis or ligum causes the activation of the male god's crown chakra. The female goddess needs to experience as many orgasms as she desires to clear any blocked chakras in her body and to activate her crown chakra. So as you can see, in an intimate encounter between a female goddess and a male god, it's a spiritual ritual in establishing harmony and balance within the bodies of both the female goddess and the male goddess, as well as their daily relationship. When I started to study Tantra back in 1998. I was guided to study Tantra, and I was learning as much aspect of it, but I was more interested in controlling my semen. And so I worked on it for a couple of years on and off to be able to control the channeling of my semen up my spine and not to lose my semen in an intimate relationship. When I was in Peru in 2000 and under the influence of the ayahuasca, and the ayahuasca, when you're in ceremony, you receive visions, and these visions are like you're watching TV. The graphics in these visions are like phenomenal. They're unbelievable. And it's just like watching a 3D movie. And so here I am. I had the question before going to Peru, 2 questions. Was Earth a training school or was it a prison? And what's the purpose of Tantra? And so the vision I received on Tantra was, it showed me a naked male, and a female, naked female. And as long as the male maintained his erection, his crown chakra was pulsating. And they showed me the female, that not only was her crown chakra pulsating, but all 7 of her chakras were pulsating. So it was essential for the male to maintain his erection to stimulate his crown chakra, and it was more essential for the female to receive an orgasm to unblock all her blocked chakras, as well as stimulating her crown chakra. So I found that very interesting. So now I want to discuss the technique in how a male disciplines and channels his semen. Tantra's teaching aims for the male god to develop the discipline technique to maintain an erection and please his female goddess with as many orgasms as desired. When the female goddess experiences an orgasm, it opens all her chakras of any blocked energies and most importantly stimulates her crown chakra. The responsibility of the male god is to be able to control the flow of his semen. By controlling the flow of his semen will not escape through intercourse. The only time a male god intentionally releases his semen is in procreation. When the male god learns to discipline his semen, the semen will be pumped up the spine to nourish his vital organs and prolong his lifespan. It's like giving him energy to live longer. The most crucial technique for the male god to master is for the male god to learn to relax the testicles. There's a pump within the testicles. And when the testicles are tight, or closed, I should say, which you can tell the testicles are closed because they become firm, very firm, and they're not loose. And that means that if there any more stimulation or arousing, the semen will be excreted out of the ligum and be lost to the body. So it's important that the male learns to relax his testicles. When he relaxes his testicles, the semen will not escape through the ligum, but it will be pumped up the spine and it will feed his vital organs for longevity, stimulate his crown chakra. He will not lose any vitality or energy, which all males know that after they have a physical encounter with his partner, if they secrete or lose their semen, they're tired and they lose energy and vitality. And this will prevent that from happening. In preparation for learning to discipline the channeling of the semen, the male god needs to understand the yoga breath. The yoga breath is breathing in through the nostrils, into the diaphragm, and out through the nostrils. So without the mouth being open, you inhale and exhale through the nostrils. What happens is the oxygen goes into the diaphragm, up to the brain, and it removes all toxins out of the body, stimulates the brain into pure oxygen. This helps the brain in brain functions, and it is also extremely necessary in learning to relax the body. When you breathe like this, your body is completely relaxed. They call it the yoga breath because when you're stretching, any stretch you do, wherever there's a tightness in the body on your stretch, if you breathe in like this, the body will relax that portion of the body that is feeling a tightness, a restraint. So when a male is in an intimate relationship, he has to learn to relax his testicles because they're tight, and by breathing in the yoga breath and at the same time incorporating the Kegel exercise, which is tightening up on the pelvis area and the testicles in the lower abdominal, the male god learns on the exhale how to relax the testicles. So a male should start by stimulating the ligum to create an erection. To do so, men need to stimulate the arousal by thinking of something. So he needs to think of a intimate encounter with his partner to stimulate a erection, an arousal within his energy. And he needs to stimulate the head of the ligum. And he needs to do this for about 15 minutes without causing him to peak, go past the point of no return and losing his semen. Usually a male can do this no problem for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, he needs to add a lubricant. By adding a lubricant to the head of the ligum, it makes his massaging more sensitive, and it stimulates an arousal, a more powerful arousal within his ligum. Now, when this occurs, he'll start to heighten to a point, and when doing so, he has to monitor that he doesn't heighten too high, too fast. And if it appears as if he's heightening too high and too fast, stop and rest. By stopping and resting and allowing the arousal to go down and then start it up again, he'll peak a little bit higher each time and learn what his no return point is, or the point where he needs to stop and before he loses his semen. Now, there's several ways he can stop. by opening his eyes and changing the vision in his mind's eye, and by breathing into the diaphragm and tightening up on his kegels. If he tightens up on his kegels, he'll pull the semen from the head of the ligum back into the testicles where they won't be secreted. Now, this is a very technical thing that the male god needs to learn without thinking that it's an easy process. It's not an easy process. Learning to relax your testicle takes a long time to be able to identify how to relax the muscles and the energies within the testicles. All right? So don't think you can just do it in 1 or 2 sessions. It's not going to take 1 or 2 sessions. Just like if you know yoga. I'm a yoga teacher. I'm a Kundalini yoga, a certified Kundalini yoga teacher. It took me a year to relax my entire body, the stretches and so forth. And if I stop, I lose that flexibility in my body. So it's extremely important in maintaining flexibility and learning how to relax your muscles. It became easier for me to learn to relax my testicles only because of my teaching of yoga. All right? So we don't want to tell you this is an easy process. It's not an easy process. If the male god appears to be reaching a point of no return and releasing his semen, he needs to stop immediately and rest. You do not want to lose your semen. If you lose your semen, if you're younger, it may take a couple of days, or maybe if you're young enough, you can create semen again quickly. But if you lose your semen as you get older, it takes a little while for the testosterone energy and vitality in your body to come back again, where you can go through the process of learning to stimulate the ligum and start your training all over again. After resting, start the stimulation process again until you reach another almost point of no return. You will find that you'll reach a higher point of no return each time. When you start this process of reaching a higher return of no time and resting, you'll start to feel when you rest that your testicles will rest. You'll learn the relaxing process in it. Again, we encourage you, don't think you mastered it that easily, all right? It takes time. You may accomplish it once and to know and understand the process works, but don't think you mastered it. The yoga breath of breathing through the nostrils into the diaphragm not only relaxes and doing the Kegel exercise at the same time. On the exhale, you do the exhale on the breath. So you inhale. On the exhale through the nostrils, you tighten up on your Kegel exercises. At that point in time, your testicles become tight. Then when you release the breath, you release the pelvis and the testicles in the lower diaphragm. This is how you learn to relax testicles. Do not be discouraged, as this discipline is well worth the investment of time in mastering the control of channeling the male god semen up the spine. You're learning it. Several reasons why you want to master this, not only to please your female and to become responsible partner. You want to master this for your own longevity of your life and to stimulate your crown chakra. You're going to stimulate your crown chakra. You're going to learn to breathe better. You're going to provide vitality to your internal organs, your heart, your lungs. All the internal important organs are going to receive this semen. Semen is it's a fluid based on the 22 amino acids that create a new body. So all these amino acids that are in pork, proteins, bee pollen, fish, and so forth, you're pumping pure protein up your spine to your vital organs. So it's extremely important that you understand what you're doing for your own mastery of self. That's what you're doing. You're attempting to master yourself. It may take a long time to do it. All right. Once the male god has mastered the channeling of a semen, he'll be able to control the muscles in his testicles. What happens is currently, if you don't master the control of your semen in an intimate relationship and you have a release of your semen, the pleasure is only seconds. All right. It's seconds. You get a good pleasure. You lose vitality. You lose energy. You can't go on. If you're too fast in losing your semen, you do not please your partner. She'll get frustrated. It'll be terrible for your relationship with her and the household. So it's extremely important for the male to take responsibility of channeling his semen, not only for his relationship, for the goddess he's with, but to master his own self-being. All right? So with that in mind, this teaching is on the website under spiritual. I go into a little bit more detail here, but with that said, I want you all to have a great day. Provide any feedbacks or questionings to me. I appreciate it. I will answer you all. You all have a great day. Namaste. Much love and blessings to all. Bye-bye. See all the teachings and videos of the Golden Ones at www.thepathtowoneness.com. Also, see the teachings on the Golden Age, where souls can learn how to overcome the birth, death, and rebirth cycle. Also, see all the videos of the Golden Ones on the YouTube channel, Timothy Doyle, The Golden Ones. And visit us on Facebook and link it at The Path to Oneness.